what's going on? Happy holidays. We're coming into the holiday season. Super exciting. It's our favorite time of the year, of course, because it's my birthday.
Well, at least it's a little
why it's the best.
It's a little colder now. I'm not sure we're completely
it's the best time of the year.
Yes.
Robby's birthday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas in that order. We're talking today about why did you get promoted? What was the reason? And I have just a teaser, maybe a hot take. You're promoting wrong. We're going to get into it.
Wow, there's a shock.
Break.
We have an opinion. We'll see you on the other side.
This is Counter Mentors with Kelly and Robby Riggs. Finally, a place where you can get both perspectives on challenges in the workplace from a boomer and a millennial. The Counter Mentor is the new leader. Join us as we show you how to blend the very best of both generations, young and old. This is Counter Mentors, and here are your hosts, Kelly and Robby Riggs.
Hey, welcome back. Kelly Riggs, Robby Riggs. We're the Counter Mentors, and by the way, we are the proud owners of a brand new book. Shameless plug coming up. Counter Mentor Leadership, How to Unlock the Potential of the Fourth Generation Workplace. We are all but done. Now, look, it doesn't publish until January. There'll be a lot of information coming from us on how you can get the book. And, we're going to do everything we can to get you to buy a copy.
Because it's awesome.
Because, it's awesome. What would you expect my son to say?
It's amazing.
We did. I will say this. We had a fantastic time in the process.
Actually, great time to shout out. We had a great team behind us. You know, we're obviously, I'm the face. He is, I don't know what his
I do the work. He takes the credit.
But big shout out to the team at Nicholas Breeley, Allison, Michelle. I mean, everybody over there, our editor, our proofer, all of them. Outstanding job.
Some people, we don't even know who they are, but they seem to
They're
manage.
Smarter than we are.
They're way smarter than we are. Anyway, hey, it's Counter Mentors, the podcast. Great to have you on board, countermentors.com, at Robby Riggs, at Kelly Riggs, and at Counter Mentors. And you can find out more about us at countermentors.com and all of the things we do, including training and speaking, and we write books, and we do a really awesome podcast that maybe we're a little bit biased.
Hey, I think I've rubbed up on you.
You have, absolutely right.
Awesome.
Hey, how did you get promoted? Robby on the front side said, here's a teaser for you. You're doing it wrong. Sadly, you are doing it wrong, and most people would agree because the results are pretty obvious. What do we look at first to find out why we're doing it wrong?
Let's lay the quick foundation first and foremost. We know that we have a serious challenge with our leaders that aren't being leaders. They're being hyper micromanaging, what we would call Taylorian managers, and it actually happens in a very logical, sequential process, and really it is to blame on how we hire people. So first and foremost, we have this problem in the workplace. You're always telling me what to do. It's got to be your way, and I hate it. I quit. I move on, and then of course, who do you blame?
You,
me, because I'm for more money. I'm one of those millennials. I'm job hopping. Blah blah blah. So there's all of these challenges.
I like where this is going
that
already.
We believe are actually attributable to how we promote.
Absolutely right. Well, listen, I'm Exhibit A for that. I've told the story a lot. Probably told it on the podcast. I just don't remember because I'm old. But
it beats me to the joke.
I've gotten to where I want to take your ammunition away. Listen, when I was a young guy, I was a National Salesman of the Year, and of course, I did it 2 years in a row. So they said, "Hey, listen, do you want to be a manager?" And I always ask people, does that qualify me? Does my success qualify me to be a leader of people? Because that's what management is. It's a leadership position. And the answer is absolutely not. In fact, we had no training whatsoever. They just said, you are a great salesperson. Clearly, you'll be a great leader.
You'll be awesome at it. Yeah,
one equals the other. Sadly, it's not true. And I was not a very good sales manager starting out. And I did get some help along the way and got better in very small incremental steps. But it's what led me into studying leadership and why some people do it better than others, and how some people that maybe we might not ever think would make great leaders actually wind up being fantastic.
Yeah, so let's think about how that works. In most organizations, during the annual review process, they have some sort of, where I grew up, they call it GARM, the Group Annual Review Meeting. And in that meeting, we all come together and we have all these names up on their projector, and we go through and we say, well, Kelly's a 1, Robby's a 5, and we kind of go everywhere in between.
I got a trophy, he got a raise.
and we go through and we rank how all of our people are, right? So, and what we do in this, a lot of people with succession planning do 9 blocks and all these other things. But we say the high performers, the ones that are for promotion, are the top right, right? That's always the top right box. That's where they want to be.
That's the leadership.
So those people, they are our leaders. And But how did they get into that 9 box?
Yeah.
They got into that 9th box, that top right box, because of how good they are at what, Pops? Their
getting
current
things done.
job
Yes.
at getting stuff done, whether it's selling or your throughput in AR, you get a lot of invoices through, or you are a great whatever, but you're great at your current job,
well,
and you're great at getting stuff done.
It breaks down into 3 categories: knowledge, performance, and skill, right? So I know more about the software package than anybody. Right. When people have questions, they come and see me. Right. Now, of course, I don't really like that much, but I've become known as the SME, the subject matter expert. So people come and ask me. Right. So then when there's a missing component in the management side, we go, hey, we really need a manager, and everybody already comes to you. Do you want to be the manager?
Right.
And, well, let's see. More money. I get to make all the decisions. I get to tell people what to do.
How's this bad plan? Anna, by the way, I don't have to work for that moron that I work for.
Yeah, so I ran him off.
So let's play this out. What happens? I get promoted because I was the best accountant. So now we have lost our best accountant.
Yes.
And we now have a bad manager over the top of all the other accountants.
Yeah.
And we say bad manager because what will my natural instinct be? Well, let's see. Logically, I was promoted because I was the best at this job. They told me that.
Absolutely.
So as a manager, as the one in charge, everyone should do it how?
The way I do it.
Just the way I did it.
Because I am the best.
Well, and it's logical. I got promoted.
Absolutely.
I'm not being arrogant. I'm not being egotistical. I got promoted for being the best. So obviously my whole team should do it exactly how I did it. Now, Pops, there's a word for that.
Let me think.
I don't remember.
Insanity.
Yeah, micromanaging. I want you to do it exactly how I do it. We would call that being a micromanager.
Yeah, and insanity is doing it over and over and over again, thinking, hey, maybe this time it won't turn out this way. Yeah, right. That's a good one. Listen, if you've been listening to speakers for more than 5 minutes, you've heard the comparison. You can't keep doing what you've been doing in the past and expect that your results are going to change, although managers do that consistently, and people who promote managers do that.
So now let's think about the team. So I've been promoted now, and the 5 other people on the team are now there. They backfilled my position. Right. So I have 6 people that work for me.
Right.
I had a great relationship with them as peers, right? We hung out, we went to happy hour, we all started together, but now I'm the boss.
Uh-oh.
And I'm in this role where I'm responsible.
And you start acting different.
I start acting different because I can't be friends with people that
work. No, absolutely not.
And you all have to do it my way. So now what happens in that water cooler talk? All of a sudden, I don't get invited to happy hour, or I excuse myself from happy hour because I got to stay late and work on the TPS reports. And so then what is that dialogue?
TPS?
That's go watch Office Space. Great movie. So what is that dialogue like at happy hour behind my back? How does that go?
Yeah, listen, why did they choose him to be the leader? I mean, I'm absolutely as good as he is. I mean, I don't understand why I didn't get promoted.
No, come on, guys. Robby's my friend. I mean, no, Robby was one of us.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. He is kind of different now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Or it sounds like this. Man, what happened to Robby? I mean, he used to be such this cool guy. He was part of us.
Hung out.
Now he's all, corporate. Yeah, and he's all of a sudden he's not the guy anymore. And he used to be great to hang out with and have a beer. Now he's that guy, right? Yeah, it happens because you're doing it wrong.
That's right.
Yeah,
you are. Why did you get promoted? Why are you promoting that way?
Hey, I know why they promoted me. They promoted me because I was really good in sales. So let's make this dude a manager. And it was really interesting. I've told this story before, but it's really interesting. The CEO who was responsible for promoting me, he told me a couple of years later, after I had struggled a bit and then kind of turned it around, become successful, he said, I really didn't know if you'd be a good sales manager or not. I just think you deserve the opportunity. Why? Because I was good at getting things done. Right. Listen, this is a train wreck. Right. If somebody's good at getting things done, does that mean they'll be a good leader? The answer is yes. The answer is no. The reality is you don't have a clue, right? Because you didn't assess their leadership capacity or capabilities. What you assessed was they're good at this, so we need a manager, ergo we're going to promote this dude.
Yeah, I think hot take number 1, first thing you need to recognize, if you are promoting for past performance, for the ability to get things done, why in the world do you think that they are all of a sudden going to be a great leader of people? Now, we're absolutely not saying that they can't be.
Yes.
But what we're saying is you are looking at the wrong skill. Hot take. You do not promote based on past performance. You promote on that individual's potential to lead the team. Now, Pops, does that mean that if someone sucks their old job, then that means I should promote them?
That's a bigger train wreck, actually. Yeah. That's a dumpster fire. All right, here's the challenge is people are always thinking through the promotion process. And I know right now people who are listening to the pod, on iTunes, they've pulled their bikes over and they're throwing things. People are wrecking their cars. And if they're watching the video podcast, they're throwing things at the screen. Hey, you morons, why would we promote somebody who's not good at what they do? Yeah, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is this, is competence is absolutely one of the prerequisites at being good as a leader.
That's right.
One of them. All right. The question is, what are the other ones? So we're clearly not saying, hey, here's an idea. Go find the middle or lower performer. Let's make them the boss, because they're going to have zero credibility, right?
That's exactly right. And look, we have to have a certain level of competence in leadership roles.
No
we know that. But that is table stakes, right?
That's the cost of entry.
That isn't what really gets you to the next level.
No.
What you have to understand is that someone's potential as a leader is a much more of a determining factor than their past performance in getting stuff done. We say that leadership is the art and science of getting things done through other people.
It's not the art and science of getting things done. That's called being a doer. The art and science of getting things done through other people, that's called a leader.
Right. We've heard Covey and Collins and Blanchard and all these other people say leadership is influence. We agree with that, but we think that you have to be able to get things done through other people. There's an art and a science to it, but you have to have those skills. Again, the science, the tools, the skills, you have to learn that. And we know that the art side, the potential, the ability to connect with people, that social skill is something that we should be looking for in our leaders, not just how great are you at pushing through spreadsheets.
So let's dispel one of the fallacies that exist, and that is the quote-unquote born leader. It's ridiculous. Some people can be better at it because they have better interpersonal skills. Clearly, we've already talked about emotional intelligence, how critical that is to leadership. We really beat it up in our book. Another shameless plug. You want to make sure that you read that critical section somewhere near the back, which means you got to read all the stuff in front of you.
I hate that we did it that way.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That's awful.
But listen, can some people be better at it because of the way they're wired up or their life experiences, the art side? Sure. But here's the thing. Anyone who wants to learn and who has self-awareness and can understand their blind spots and get better at those kinds of things, self-awareness, self-regulation, anyone can learn the skills of good leadership. Anyone.
Whoa, stop. Hold on. You're saying that leaders aren't born, they're made?
Christina is Robby's sister. And when my first grandchild was born, Evelyn is now almost 4 years old. Amazing.
No, she's 4.
Yeah, well, in her mind, she's 4. Actually, in her mind, she's like 18.
Yeah.
But she's a prodigy, just saying. She's like her pops. So when she was born, I remember I was in Cleveland. And Nona, my wife, had gone down to be with Christina. And the baby was born, and she called me. And I said, here's the only question I have for you. Is she a leader?
I thought you asked if she was a salesperson. You did ask leader?
Yeah, well, I kind of asked 3 or 4 things.
Okay,
because born salesperson, born leader. She didn't look down and go, Pops, it's amazing. She's a leader. Incredible, right? I mean, it doesn't work that way.
Absolutely asinine.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. Just because you're good at getting things done, people look at people who are great at getting things done and they go, oh, they're such a leader. Did you see how well he or she did that? They are such a leader. Not necessarily.
No.
Because leadership is not just now. Could it be one of the clues? Of course.
Right.
If they take initiative and they solve problems and all that, can those be clues to leadership?
Yeah.
Can they be developed? Sure. But it's not the quintessential leadership characteristics we're looking for.
No, but and the reality is most organizations, more than likely the organization that you're working in, you promote almost solely on past performance.
Yep, absolutely. Top salesperson. And
then you wonder why when that happens, we have turnover. And what do? We say, well, it's those people. They don't get it. They don't buy in. They want to be part of it. They're jealous that someone got, all these ridiculous reasons. And the reality is you promoted someone that isn't good as a leader. They are good as a doer. And make no mistake, that is something you can develop, but it doesn't happen magically. You have to invest in it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, our listeners and our viewers are sitting there going, all right, G-Man, Christus, you guys have beat this half to death. We get it.
Sounds like us.
Yeah, we get it. So what should we do differently? I don't know. Maybe you could, here's a hot take, maybe you could train them in leadership skills before you promote them and maybe put them in some shadowing roles or some early projects where they get to work with people as a leader and see how they handle it. But the reality is, Robby, most corporate America is not training their leaders before they put them in those positions.
That's right.
And the leadership training they do, and although we do this for a living, it's not really very good.
But here's the big mistake people make is they don't.
I kind of slipped that one in.
They don't prepare people for success. So
Right.
we wait until you've been a leader for 6 months to put you through leadership development. And typically it's a half-day PowerPoint presentation. You forget 95% of it's a waste of time.
Right.
We don't invest in our next level, our potentials, while they're potentials, to see if, in fact, we can cultivate that. We wait until there's already a challenge or a problem with that person. Then we say, ooh, got to get a coach, got to get them into leadership development. You're thinking about that the wrong way. We want to ensure that we have people on a track and a trajectory where we are teaching them to be leaders throughout their process, which means you need to you need to mentor, coach, counsel, and develop while they're still in doer roles, putting them in opportunities to supervise and manage people while that is not their primary responsibility, so they can fail forward, fail fast, and learn.
Yeah, for us, because Robby grew up in the household where sports was a big part of my life. I grew up playing sports, coaching sports, and I believe business is like sports. It's a competition. You got to play to win. And I have never seen a sports team develop their players this way. Let's go out, and I'm going to teach you a skill, and I'm going to teach you one time, and then I'm going to throw you out and see how you do. Right. They have ongoing coaching and practice and so forth. Right. The other thing we don't do is we don't see you as a player and say, gosh, you're a really good player. I bet you'd be a fantastic coach.
Actually, there's more and more examples of players as coaches that are awful. So
ask yourself this real simple question. How many Hall of Fame baseball players went on to be winning coaches? I'll let you do the research.
Or basketball players, or football players. I mean, we've seen it all. Yeah, we've seen it all. It's rare. And what you have to completely shift that paradigm to say, okay, I'm going to stop promoting based on past performance. Now, I still want people to be great. I still want them to be high performers. And those are those potentials. The top, that 9 box, the very top right corner, those are the ones that we want to invest in developing this year, so next year we can promote them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting how a leadership culture will begin to perpetuate itself when you put a potential high performer next to a very good leader and they really learn the practical skills that are important. I mean, we've got this sense, Robby, of leadership that it's some up in the cloud thing that either you do have or you don't have. And if you have it, then great. But we got to hire you and promote you, or we got to promote you rather to find out if you have it. Right. And the reality, great leadership is a set of skills that you learn. Right. You get with another great leader, you can transfer those skills or at least see if they adopt them well.
Yeah, and you have to understand that the great leadership skills for today and the future are different than they were in 1911 and 1921 and 1951. And they're different.
Why?
Right? They're different because the workforce, the world has changed. The introduction, hot take, the introduction of technology, obviously the generational challenges, all of these things have made it different. It requires a different skill, and you have to teach that skill. And if you don't, your people, and your company will continue to struggle in today's world.
Here's my big hot take out of today's episode, and that is real simple. If you're going to be successful as a company in today's workplace, today's modern environment, with all of the new additions to the problem of leadership, problems we didn't have 20 years ago when technology didn't permeate like it does now. We didn't have to deal with technology and chaos and complexity and constant change and social media and all of this stuff. You know what? You want to be successful today? You've got to transform your organization into an education process. Mm-hmm. You've got to train your people constantly, not as an afterthought, not as oh my goodness, sales are down. Maybe we should have some sales training.
Well, no, sales are down. We can't do that because we don't have money for
we can't afford it.
Yeah.
It needs to become a part of your DNA. And I tell you what, you want to know how to keep your high power millennials around? They love to be trained and coached and get direct feedback on their performance as they go along. They love that. You create a culture they can live in, and you're developing the talent.
Someone a lot smarter than me once said that I'd rather train my people and see them go than not train them and have them stay. And that's exactly what we're talking about. We have to invest in them.
You just
creating
somebody smarter than
talent organization.
Did you guys get that?
Inside your company is so critical. Ensuring that you are investing from day one, from the interview, recruiting, onboarding, throughout that life cycle, investing in that talent process. It is a process that can be repeatable. You can actually have consistent, repeatable outcomes with your people, developing leaders every single year if you create a process. This isn't rocket science. It's something that you have to invest in and be intentional about. The music says we're out. Pops, my hot take set up a process where you can intentionally develop your leaders. We're really excited. Episode 135.
Yeah.
Hey,
by the way,
35.
you know how I know Robby's passionate? He completely ignores my barbs. I mean, my insults go unresponsive. So
I just ignore you. Thanks for joining us. Check us out,
See you next time.
countermentors.com. We love it. Send us your feedback. And until next time, be good.
Come on! Thanks for tuning into Counter Mentors with Kelly and Robby Riggs. For more information about the show, to listen to past shows, or to learn more about how Kelly and Robby teach companies the counter mentoring process, visit countermentors.com. The Counter Mentors Show is presented by One-on-One Media, Incorporated. All rights reserved. Opinions expressed by guests on the show may not be the opinions of One-on-One Media or the host of the Counter Mentors Show.